All right, hi my loves, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot on YouTube and Tea Time Tarot on TikTok. If you enjoy this reading or you just like what you see, I hope you choose to hit the like button and maybe even subscribe at the end of this. But I actually wanted to express what I was seeing in my vision. So I felt connected here to someone that was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Okay, and I was feeling this person's tics. I did not get an image of this person. I feel like what's being more emphasized here is kind of like the symptoms they're experiencing and how that's being felt and just embodied with this person. So I don't feel like I'm not connected to a specific woman or man, okay? So that's not information that's being given to me at this moment. Let's see what else here. For this person, their tics are very exhausting. Very exhausting. It's like to get through the day, it takes nearly twice the amount of energy it would like a normal or a person, I guess, without this syndrome. It takes a lot of energy. And it's very distracting. It's almost as if like there's this, just loud, constant noise that interrupts their thoughts. And I do feel like it takes a lot of concentration to stay on track, to stay on course with something. So also this person, due to their Tourette syndrome, may get easily distracted. Let's see what else here. I'm visualizing this person kind of walk around the kitchen. So this person may spend a lot of their time in the kitchen. Perhaps this is also being highlighted because it's a more public space within the home, and this is where you kind of meet with other family or friends, especially during parties or events. Okay, and all of a sudden I'm feeling kind of dizzy, and so this person may experience like this feeling of lightheadedness as they kind of walk into a more public space. I do feel like this person, may have a bit of social anxiety. Obviously, I'm not a licensed physician, okay, or even like a licensed practitioner of any kind. So, of course, get that checked out. If you feel the need. I'm just relaying what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. Okay, let's see what else here. This person may also I'm seeing like a toaster. So maybe this person likes to, I don't know, eat a lot of pastries and toast it, you know, or like toaster strudels coming to my mind, or Pop-Tarts, toast. Maybe this person likes to eat a lot of that throughout the day. And it may be kind of like a treat for them, and may help boost their energy during the day. There's something here with diet as well. Maybe there's a need for this person to like pay more attention to their diet, because maybe their body is just more sensitive to the type of food they eat. All right, anyways, I kind of want to dive into some cards here and see what comes out for whoever we're connecting to. I'm specifically getting gluten though, so maybe gluten causes like inflammation for this person. I don't know. Again, I'm not a licensed physician, so you know, go get that checked out if you need to. It's kind of like one of those things where if it resonates with you and you feel like this is your reading, then take it, but don't force the message if it doesn't fit. All right, about this person. All right, we have the number 7 here. Looks like a serpent, the Queen of Clubs, and we have number 43. And you kind of have all the suits here in this card. Bottom of the deck, we have number 37. Looks like a really complex cuckoo clock or something. Anyways. All right. So I do feel like this has something to do with bloodline genetics. Okay. Maybe you feel as if your body is betraying you, like it's hurting you. Maybe you also feel that sometimes, like maybe you feel at times where you're getting really hot, or you feel like you're getting like something equivalent to like hot flashes, you know, or you're running hot sometimes, where when you feel like your body is overworking to try to stay on course, to try to stay on track. But it's really hard to stay focused here. This person also may feel, again, like they're not in control of themselves, and I'm hearing their nervous system. This person also may feel as if they're kind of scattered. You know, it's almost as if like they're split into like 3 different versions of themselves, and they're all kind of going in different directions. Like it's not very cohesive. Like this person does not feel like they're operating as a cohesive unit. But they're still aware of what's going on. And so this person, I feel like, is consciously aware as this is happening to them. But again, almost feels helpless to be able to control this. Or kind of control these tics. It's almost as if like, how do I put this? It's almost as if like certain receptors are being activated that maybe have no business being activated, to where like they trigger several things at one time, and it kind of sets off like this, again, like, right, this chaos. 37, this series of maybe conflicting events, and it just kind of feels like everything is scattered, everything is kind of like all over the place, like certain things are going off at one time. And it, like, if you ever heard, like, something that's coming to mind and that I sort of can compare this to is as if like, if you ever heard like a band just kind of chaotically just playing instruments, you know, like there's no cohesiveness. It's like the drummer is just like banging on drums just to make noise, you know, and the guitar is just like, you know, there's no strategy to what they're playing. It's just, they're just trying to make the loudest noise, and it's all happening at one time, and it's just overwhelming the system. And that's just kind of what it feels like to me. All right. So let's see what else is happening for this person that's suffering with this Tourette's syndrome. Black or love diamond, misfortune. When the soul suffers too much, it develops a taste for misfortune. Bottom of the deck, we have agate, fresh start. As long as I am breathing in my eyes, I am just beginning. So, you're a warrior, definitely. You are definitely a warrior, and every day you're fighting to get through. And I feel like either maybe your symptoms are very severe, or people just don't understand how much you suffer because of the syndrome that you have. You know, like something that I'm feeling is almost as if like there's this cancer patient that's, you know, basically fighting for their life, undergoing like chemotherapy or something. You know, that's just kind of like what this reminds me of, which is very, very severe, right? And I don't know, when we think of Tourette's, I think generally speaking, we don't think of it like that. Although we see that it seems very frustrating, we don't think of it like that. But I guess, you know, this person is kind of like relaying the fact that it is very, very, very mentally draining. And every day is a battle. And it's exhausting, really exhausting. And just take things day by day. This person takes things day by day. So I kind of want to go into why does this soul, why is the soul experiencing this? Why is the soul experiencing this? Spirit, what is the reason why the soul is experiencing something so painful? Also, I'm being shown something about the heart here. There's something with breathing. Maybe you also feel sometimes when you're going through these tics, or these, I don't know if you would call them episodes, forgive me if you don't, but when you're going through this, I don't know if you feel sometimes your chest tightens, or you feel like a lot of discomfort in your heart. Again, I feel like it just causes you a whole lot of stress here, especially in your heart and your nervous system. And obviously your mind is very exhausted, overworking all the time. Why is this soul going through this experience, Spirit? We have the Ten of Cups. Okay, not what you would expect. We have the King of Cups in the reverse. Why is the soul experiencing this? The Magician. Bottom of the deck, we have the World card. Bottom of the deck, we have Death. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. I do want to point out that the majority of these cards, 3 of the 4 cards here, are in the upright position, which is a very, very good thing. And we have actually 3 major arcana cards: the Magician, the World, and bottom of the deck if we include the Death card, right? Please don't freak out. Okay. Let's see here. Why does the soul have to go through this? Well, Ten of Cups is here in part because this is a major factor when it comes to your soul growth. This is a testament of your heart and the strength of it. So experiencing this causes you to be an extremely compassionate and patient person. Maybe you're not patient all the time, and it may not seem that way, you know, when you're triggered by things and, you know, when you're having your tics, and you're dealing with people that maybe are frustrated with you and don't really understand, and maybe they're judging you even though they're not, even though some of them maybe within your family are trying not to, you know. But with other people deep down, you have a lot of patience for what other people are going through, because you can really relate on such a deep level. Okay. And I do feel like there's something here that you can do to create some kind of community for people that are going through something very challenging in their lives. So maybe you're here to create some kind of community for others. And I'm hearing there's strength in numbers. So perhaps, again, creating like a community, even if it's an online community. But you know, maybe it would be better if you sometimes also met in person, right? Will help people have some kind of support system, especially if they don't really have that at home. Let's see here. The King of Cups is here to kind of acknowledge the fact that, you know, your guides acknowledges that this may not be what you expected your life to be. You know, so there's a lot of, you may feel disheartened that, you know, there's some aspects to life that are just not very glamorous for you. You know, maybe growing up, right, you just yearned to have such a normal lifestyle, and that just wasn't really available to you on some level. With the Magician card here, I do feel like you're kind of meant to, I'm hearing blended learning, excuse me. I feel like with this, you're meant to adapt and create a new way of learning or a new way of creating, and to see that it is possible for, you know, obviously humans to adapt, because that's how we evolve. And so by you digging deep within yourself and fighting for your own life and fighting to have this stability, which is very, very difficult, right? And to find your 10 of Cups, to find the silver lining in everything. Mentally, I do feel like something that may be evolving is your mental toughness or your mental strength within your own bloodline. You know, because your resilient nature is going to kind of carry on to your kin if you decide to have children. But with the World card, I almost feel like that's not really what you're worried about. Like, I feel like somebody here doesn't necessarily want kids, and maybe it's just because you've experienced so many challenges, you know, with dealing with this syndrome, that it's not something that you want maybe your children to really experience. You're like, I was able to, you know, somehow work through a lot of my challenges, but I don't know if I would want, you know, my kin to have to do the same or have to face the same thing. And so for some of you, or for someone, you know, and I'm hearing it ends with you. So, and this is very difficult. This is, in some ways, very noble and courageous of you to have this perspective. And, you know, it's kind of like your guys understanding that, yes, it may seem very unfair. But, man, the fact that you're willing to, in some ways, sacrifice some of your own desires, you know, in some ways to lessen the suffering of your bloodline, again, is such a noble thing to do. Let's see what else wants to come through. Let's see, what does, you know, a higher power want you to know? You know, some of you, or maybe for specific someone, you may have honestly cursed God because maybe you felt like you were cursed in this life, and you thought it was very unfair that you've had to suffer. Some of you really view it as a disability, or maybe, you know, a specific person here does view it as a disability and feels like they're not whole. feels like they're not whole. It's almost as if, like, you know, I'm almost seeing somebody here that is deeply, deeply angry because they were born, you know, without a limb, you know, or proper organs. It's like a comparison that I'm seeing here. You know, maybe that's what it really feels like for you. But what does a higher power want you to know about this? For those suffering with this Tourette's, or for this specific person. We have 5 of Scrolls, diversity. Okay. I am going to actually read that card. Let's see, 5 of Scrolls. Be patient with me as I try to find it in this booklet here. Okay, here we go. This says, a woman stands on a veranda overlooking a beautiful valley dotted with little towns on the hills and along the river. Scrolls that she has read lie upon a nearby table. Another scroll is held loosely in her hands, while the woman surveys all that she sees. With this card, you'll find that it's time to diversify. There are many options for you to consider, and you should take a look at them all. Allow yourself to try new things, go to new places, learn new subjects, break out into different directions, and meet new people. Don't worry about scattering your, gotta turn the page, energy too thin. You're in a period of expansion, so use it. Let yourself go farther afield than you planned. In the end, you will diversify in ways that introduce you to a whole new you. Again, right? That's basically confirmation to what we were saying earlier about the magician, and about you kind of that blended learning, right? Learning totally different way. Really, humans can be capable of doing something. But your story is important. Your story is important, is something that I'm getting. Also, maybe even in the archives of the Akashic, you know, in the library of soul experiences. Your journey is very important, and how you've been able to handle it. And so it's definitely something that may be recorded here for spirit. And to know that there is an end to things, you know. It's not like in every life you're going to be born with specific disabilities, right? More specific syndromes that are very challenging for us to, you know, function, quote unquote, normally. But it's just kind of one for the books. It's an experience. It's something that grows not only your soul, but again, it's just kind of added to the wisdom of the collective. You know, in some ways it is kind of bigger than you, but it doesn't feel like it when, you know, you're the person that's embodied and experiencing this certain path. Also, you know, perhaps diversity is very important. Expansion is very important. without it, there's no growth, and, there sometimes can be good things, and maybe sometimes bad things come out of it, or more, there could be positive aspects that come out of it, maybe sometimes more negative aspects that come out of it. There's pros and cons to expansion and growth. And again, this specific journey of growth is, unfortunately very, very challenging. And that is something that I feel like is being acknowledged here. Also, if you believe in past lives and reincarnation, I do feel like you are going to be rewarded in your next life, where you're going to have some positive karma to deal with this in a really good way, right? Instead of taking your anger and your frustration out on others, finding a way that you can, create maybe a community of people, or help people by using your creativity and problem solving here. There's some good karma to follow with that. Anything else? We have amethyst, temperance, everything in moderation, including moderation. Okay. So, again, I do feel like you are going to get upgraded here. Okay, so yes, this physical experience is a very karmic one. One full of lessons, especially the physical body. But temperance, this is also, in the tarot, the card that represents Sagittarius, our wounded healer. And so with that, I want to say maybe in the next life, you'll find that you'd be a really effective healer, However that is represented in the life you will be incarnating next, right? For those that obviously believe in reincarnation, those that don't, you don't have to take that message. But I do feel like it's something akin to that, okay? And you'll have a lot of wisdom. You'll have a lot of wisdom to carry with you from this soul experience, even though, of course, there was a lot of suffering. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to alchemize this experience here, or, if you do alchemize this experience here, because you make that choice, you make decisions every day, who you are going to be, how you're going to respond, right? And hopefully not react all the time, and based on more positive choices, or choices that lead to better things. I do feel like, again, like there's something that's at the end of this that's a reward, and again, like, it just may not seem like it right now. But let's pull a lover's card here from Spirit. Yeah, there's a teacher energy. So right now you are the student, right? That magician energy. Third house is the student. Ninth house, which is, the Sagittarius energy here versus Gemini energy here. And you don't have to have it in your chart. I'm just telling you, like, the dynamic, right? The student becomes the teacher. Ninth house, is very much a teacher energy. Anyways, what Spirit wants to tell you. Okay. We have a secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. Interesting. And we have, of course, this green heart energy, right? And we're talking about the heart. So definitely transformation here of the heart and healing, right? But you can take this card how it resonates for you. Perhaps you're also asking if somebody also has feelings for you. And maybe that's a confirmation for you as well. But I feel like you can also take this as you are admired, okay? And you know, if I can say this, Spirit may be admiring you, and that you are a champ. Bottom of the deck, wait, don't rush into it, allow nature to take its course. Yeah, I know this is, you know, obviously a slow learning journey, but you are obviously going to become who you're ultimately meant to be in the near future. So yeah, that is what I have for someone here. If this resonated, I hope you choose to subscribe to my channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot, or hit the like button on your way out, and maybe even follow me on TikTok, Tea Time Tarot. All right, guys, I'm going to end this live, and I'm gonna take a little break, I think. Watch me come back in like a minute. But yeah, bye guys.